Okay, so this is a response to Christopher Saul's two articles about musicking. What I got out of these two articles is that there is no definite meaning to what music is. There's many meanings to how humans decipher it and how we might go about making music or listening to music and what our opinions are about them. Is that they're all linked together by our experiences and how we experience the music. Really, it's almost like experiencing a real life situation just through a more abstract way of going about it. um, we develop different opinions of what the music is and how it's performed, but all of that is not really relevant to what the music actually is. The definite meaning of it is, I mean, first you have to think about when it was created and how it was created and what the actual mean of the composer was first, but how someone might interpret that may be different from how the composer may have initially went about things. Um, what stuck out to me was this quote saying that performance does not exist in order to present musical works, but rather works exist in order to give performance something to perform. Um, it almost says that someone doesn't create a work of art to create a work of art, but in order to show it off. It doesn't really sink in with me. I thought it was interesting because it almost contradicts what I believe music could be. Um, because it can be many different things. And in that sense, many people create social meanings out of the music and connect it with different parts of their life and interactions that they've had. This is kind of the sociology of music, and it relates to musicking as it could be anything, is because music can be performance, it could be listening, rehearsing, practice, composing, or dancing. And anything other than that too that has to relate to it. If you're, sitting in a waiting room to a doctor's office, you're technically musicking because you're experiencing it. It just may not be in the sense that you want to. And that is what creates these social definitions of what music may be. Um, so, can it be a language in between barriers of, language being actually different? Can it be a common language between people? Um, the answer, I guess, is yes, but it may convey different meanings, as words, even though some words have double meanings, it usually means one thing. The act of saying something, like a sentence, usually has one point to it only, as music can be very subjective and have many meanings, as some composers go about doing or composing a piece of music by making it have many meanings or making it different so people get different opinions about it. And it's interesting. So on the postlude, he goes into saying that a thing that stuck out to me was, are people tone deaf? And I guess in a social setting, being tone deaf means that you can't decipher tones within a musical setting because they may go too fast for you, but essentially nobody is tone deaf because the way we speak and the way we go about language uses inflections of tone. So anybody knows how to read tone just subconsciously. And I think the idea that tone deaf is a common disease almost. It comes from the fact that music almost turns people off because when they're labeled at a young age that they're not talented enough, they get put off by it, as they don't want to be around people who are engaged in music and who actually benefit from it. Anybody can benefit from music. It's just the matter of how you go about, uh, I guess, deciding how you want the music to affect yourself. And that can be in many ways. If you want to listen to music in a live performance, you may let it affect you in a way of social interactions with people that are there, or social interactions with the performers. There's many different mediums of how we may go about interpreting the music and interpreting our relationships between the music and what is surrounding us. One cool thing I thought that Christopher Small said was that a musical score, is almost like a constructive toy by means of we can build our own models or build something different. It's there, and sometimes these scores are very intricate, like telling you how to go about performing the piece, but especially in older music, there's really no directions about how to go about things, so it's kind of interpretive up to the performers, and it all depends on how they want things to happen and how they want other people to interpret their music or performances. Um, yeah, so I mean, music can evoke many different emotions in people, and I tend to get kind of emotional about music myself, and I have strong opinions about what music might mean to me as to other people and how they go about, I guess, approaching music. Um, but that is essentially up to them, and I think that's what this article was about, is that music can mean anything, and as a giant overall form of what music may be, um, is that it is very different for many people, and you can't really say one way is wrong or one way is right, um, but you can say you like a certain way or you dislike a certain way of going about things, and in that sense, any form of art is still art. It's just a matter of how we view it. Like there's an old quote that says, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder," and I think that represents how music may affect different people and affect myself, is that I find beauty in it. Other people might not. Other people might find beauty in electronic music as well, and I might find beauty in Baroque style music. So the fact that many people find joy in different types of things, and that goes for anything in life and this world, is mind-boggling. But how we like to music is who we are, and that's the overall form of it.